for Alabama's Braxton Setzer.
Hey guys, we just wrapped up the James River tournament. We finished 5th place. What an amazing week. This place is absolutely chock full of fish and it's a lot of fun to fish. I'm gonna walk y'all through a couple of baits. I caught fish doing several different things this week, but there were really 2 key baits for me. The first one is gonna be a Nichols finesse jig, 3/8 ounce black and blue with a green pumpkin chunk on it. Big chunk. I wanted the big profile. I was trying to mimic bluegill, but I felt like I needed a little bit darker skirt because the water was a little dirty. That's why I chose the black and blue with the green pumpkin. Got a lot of bites on this, caught a lot of fish. Caught some big fish on it. You know, the whole setup itself, 20-pound T7, Phoenix K2 765. I love this rod. It's a great rod, especially for pitching, you know, boat docks, things like that. I was pitching boat docks, wood, stuff like that with the jig. It's super sensitive. You could feel them. They weren't really biting it this week. They would just almost kind of nip it when it was falling, and they would have it and hold on to it, and you just kind of had to really feel them out, and they'd start easing off, and that's when you knew they had it. I was fishing around a lot of wood, a lot of rock, and so that was really important to just kind of really pick things apart and go real slow, and you just kind of had to feel your way through it. And when one got it, you know, it just, you know, kind of start easing off, and of course you can jack them with this 20-pound line, 7.5 foot rod. You can jack them. They come to the boat. Had a lot of fun pitching the jig this week. Another thing I was doing was square billing. This is a Yozuri 1.5, 3dB 1.5 in a bluegill color. These fish up here this week were really keyed on bluegill. This is 16-pound T7, a Phoenix X13 cranking rod. The cranking rod, I like it, obviously, is a crankbait, but I like it, this one in particular, because it's got the power. I could lean into those fish and fight them and get them out from whatever they were around. I was cranking a lot of rock, a lot of wood, whether it be like blowdowns, brush, something like that. I wanted the extra power of the little bit heavier cranking rod to be able to get those fish away from whatever they were around. Those 2 baits caught the majority of my fish this week. But hey, look, my Blazer Suzuki combo did phenomenally well. So great on gas. I was only running 1 tank. This boat's got 2 tanks in it. I wasn't even running a whole tank. I was making a pretty good run. Another thing that was really important for me this week were the Lowrance tide charts. I could go figure out exactly where I needed to be when I needed to be there. I wasn't making the run with everybody else that was going all the way down to the chick. I stayed in the river itself and used the tide charts to know where I needed to be, when I needed to be there, and I ran the tide. I'd go down, find the half outgoing, start there, and work my way back up on that half outgoing, and that was key because that pulls those fish off of the banks and sets them up on isolated cover, things you can target. The Lowrance played a big part, and of course power pole. This place, it's pretty shallow. You're fishing shallow. A lot of my fish were coming out of less than 2 foot of water. I dropped the poles 1,000 times this week. The current is strong here. This tide moves 3 or 4 foot a day, so a lot of current. When you get somewhere to a key area, to be able to drop the poles and fish it thoroughly, whether it was with the square bill or pitching the jig around, those things were key for me this week and led me to a 5th place finish here on the James River.